Hey y'all, and welcome to a very special Pride episode of Aiden Tell Me a Story. Today we're diving into the history of the LGBTQ plus rights, not just the headlines, but the humans behind it. From protests to pop culture, riots to red carpets, we're telling the stories of queer icons who shaped the world and why their legacy still matters. Pride didn't start as a parade. It started as a rebellion, and it began with people like this. Starting strong with Stormé DeLarverie, a biracial butch lesbian and male impersonator. Stormé, as I say, was known for blending masculine and feminine fashion before it was accepted. Many credit her with throwing the first punch that sparked the Stonewall Uprising. She patrolled the streets of New York for decades, protecting queer and trans youth from violence, well into her 80s. Stormé refused to let people rewrite her history, often saying it was a rebellion, not a riot. I've had the pleasure these past 4 years participating in a bioplay about her life. Obviously, I didn't play Storm. I played several different characters. But I've learned so much about pride, about resilience, about determination, about owning your truth, and shining your light so bright that it blinds everybody, that others have no choice but to acknowledge you. Stormé was a powerful woman, and anyone who crossed her path was lucky. Next is Marsha P. Johnson, a black trans woman. Marsha was a beloved figure in the LGBTQ plus community, and a key presence at the Stonewall Uprising. She co-founded STAR, Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, to support homeless trans youth. Her warmth and wildflower crowns made her unforgettable. And like many black trans women, her suspicious death in 1992 remains unsolved, but galvanized activism. Sylvia Rivera, a Puerto Rican Venezuelan trans woman who fought on the front lines of Stonewall at just 17 years old. Sylvia was fiery, outspoken, and deeply committed to protecting trans folks and sex workers. She and Marsha founded STAR, giving shelter and safety to homeless queer youth. Her legacy is a reminder that the trans community has always been a part of the fight for queer rights. Miss Major, a black trans woman and activist who survived both the Stonewall Uprising and the Attica prison riots. She spent decades advocating for trans women of color, especially those who are incarcerated. Miss Major is revered as a wise elder and has mentored generations of activism. She reminds us that black trans women have always been essential to queer liberation. And then Craig Rodwell. Craig was a gay rights activist and bookstore owner who helped organize the very first Pride March in 1970. Exactly 1 year after Stonewall. He advocated for nonviolent protest and LGBTQ plus representation long before it was mainstream. His bookstore, the Oscar Wilde Memorial Bookshop, was a safe haven and meeting point for activists. Craig believed visibility was the key to liberation. And Brenda Howard, a bisexual woman and fierce feminist. Brenda is known as the Mother of Pride. She organized the first LGBTQ plus Pride March and helped create the structure of Pride events still used today. Brenda advocated for the inclusion of bi and trans people in queer movements. Her work proves that bisexual folks have always been central to queer history. And Bayard Rustin, a black gay civil rights leader. Bayard was the chief architect of the 1963 March on Washington. He taught Dr. King about nonviolence, but was pushed into the background due to being openly gay. Despite being sidelined, he was one of the most strategic minds in the civil rights movement. In 2013, President Obama posthumously, I don't know if I'm saying that right, awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Audre, a self-described black, lesbian, mother, warrior, poet, Audre Lorde wrote fiercely about injustice, identity, and difference. Her essays and poetry explored the intersections of race, gender, sexuality, and class. She believed silence would never protect us, and that anger was a form of power. Lorde's words continue to shape feminist and queer thoughts today. And James Baldwin, a gay black writer and intellectual, Baldwin exposed the hypocrisies of race, class, and sexuality in America through novels like Giovanni's Room and essays like The Fire Next Time. He used his visibility to confront white supremacy and homophobia on national stages. Baldwin's eloquence and truth-telling made him one of the most important writers of the 20th century. His legacy lives in both queer literature and civil rights movement. And Jose Sarria, a drag performer and World War II veteran. Jose Sarria became the first openly gay person to run for a public office in the U.S. in 1961. He didn't win, but he paved the way for future LGBTQ plus candidates. He also founded the imperial court system, which raises millions for LGBTQ plus through drag pageantries. Jose was proof that visibility and politics can go hand in hand, even in heels. Larry Kramer, a writer and playwright turned activist. Larry Kramer co-founded both Gay Men's Mental Health Crisis and ACT UP during the AIDS epidemic. He was loud, angry, and often controversial, but his rage saved lives. His play, The Normal Heart, helped bring the AIDS crisis into the mainstream media. Larry demanded government action when silence was costing lives. Laverne Cox, the first openly trans woman nominated for a Primetime Emmy, and rightfully so. Laverne rose to fame on Orange is the New Black. She became a powerful voice for trans rights and visibility in Hollywood. Her Time magazine cover marked a turning point in pop culture. Laverne speaks out about anti-trans violence and mental health with grace, beauty, and power. Janet Mock, a trans woman writer and director. Janet Mock broke barriers when she wrote and directed on the hit show Pose. Her memoir, Redefining Realness, became a bestseller and brought her story to millions. She uses her platform to center Black and brown trans women and advocates for systemic change. Janet reminds us that storytelling is a radical healing act. Zaya Wade, daughter of Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. Zaya came out as trans at the age of 12 and has since become a visible and graceful figure in youth trans advocacy. With full support from her family, she shows what affirming love can do. Zaya is growing up in the spotlight, but she's using it to inspire other queer kids. She's a reminder that trans kids deserve joy, not just survival. Jazz Jennings, one of the youngest and most visible trans public figures. Jazz starred in the reality show I Am Jazz. She began sharing her journey as a trans girl at the age of 6 and became a national advocate for trans youth. Jazz has written books, spoken across the country, and had gender-affirming surgery, all in the public eye. Her openness and honesty has helped educate millions. Angelica Ross, a Black trans woman, actress, Pose, American Horror Story, and tech entrepreneur. Angelica founded Trans Tech Social Enterprise to help trans people get skills and jobs in tech. She uses her visibility to talk about racism, capitalism, and survival. She's one of the first trans actresses to lead a network TV show. And she's just getting started. Lil Nas X. He took over the charts with Old Town Road, then came out in peak fame and blew the doors open. His music videos and red carpet stances dared us to see Black queer joy. Lil Nas X refuses to shrink. And that's the revolution. He's paving the way and opening doors for many more queer artists to come. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga didn't just give us bops. She gave us anthems like Born This Way. She's always stood with the LGBTQ plus community, long before it was safe or trendy. From the VMAs to the streets, she reminded us, you are perfect just the way you are. For me, growing up, Gaga was a pivotal moment in my coming out journey. She helped me understand that I am perfect how I am and who I am. Her music helped comfort me in times when I was confused and felt alone. So thank you, Gaga. Michaela J. Rodriguez. Michaela J. made history as the first trans actress to win a Golden Globe for her role in Pose. She didn't just play Blanca. She became a mother figure for a whole generation. Her voice, her presence, her light, they break ceilings and build bridges. Billy Porter. Billy Porter stunned the world in a tuxedo gown and became the first openly gay Black man to win an Emmy Lead Actor Award. A fashion rebel, activist, and performer. He challenges norms with every red carpet. He broke one glass ceiling and wore it. India Moore is a non-binary actress from Pose. They use their fashion and fame to fight colorism and discrimination. They speak out for those who are left out and renew our hope that beauty is boundless. India is now the hero they deserve. Pink. Pink's been bending gender and genre since day one. Her fierce allyship and don't give a damn attitude made space for queer kids who never fit the mold. She sings it loud and proud. Raven-Symoné. From That's So Raven to real life, Raven shows us that magic lives in being yourself. She came out on her own terms and didn't let the industry define her. For every queer kid who saw her growing up, she was the vision we needed. Elliot Page. Elliot Page soared to fame in Juno, then came out as trans in 2020 and changed Hollywood. Now he's a face of trans masculine visibility on screen. Elliot's story reminds us, sometimes the person in the spotlight needs saving. RuPaul. RuPaul took drag from underground culture to global stage with Drag Race. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Became a battle cry. Love is resistance. And boy, does it. These are just some stories, some icons, little snippets of their vast realities and the history they left behind and are currently living. This is just a micro group of people throughout all of history who helped pave the way and allowed us to be here now, speaking our truth, living our life, and sharing our light with the world. 20 plus stories of fire, determination, and resistance. But pride isn't just about the past. It's about you. You don't need to change the world to be a queer icon. Just existing freely, boldly, quietly, joyfully as your full self, that's enough to spark something in someone else. Maybe there's someone in your own family, not out yet, watching you and thinking, maybe I can too. Your authenticity lights the way. You being here, being you, is powerful. That is the legacy of pride, and that's worth celebrating. Whew! That came from my soul. Thank you so much for hearing these stories and listening to this podcast. I am so appreciative and so grateful and can't wait to keep telling you more. I have a few more videos coming out. I have a couple interviews on the way, and hopefully I can get them all out in time. If not, freak it. We can have a little bit of pride in July too. Pride in July! That's what I'm going to call it. As always, if any of this resonated with you, please feel free to share this with someone you know, someone you love, someone who can benefit from this in any way, shape, or form. And make sure to hit that subscribe and like button as well, because you don't want to miss all this. And for those of you listening, if you want to put a face to the name, check out the video on YouTube. Thank you so, so much. I love you, and I hope that you're having an amazing June. And if not, know that the sun will come out tomorrow. We got this. And I love you so, so much. Love you, mean it. Bye.